Hi beauty lovers! In this video, I'll be sharing what I think about L'Oreal's Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear Foundation and Infallible Full Wear More Than Concealer. To start, I'll be going in with the Full Wear Concealer. Currently, this is the only concealer that L'Oreal has available in Malaysia, and it only comes in 4 shades. I usually apply concealer first on high movement areas such as my smile lines and under eyes before going in with foundation to help prevent my foundation from creasing. I do like the jumbo wand that comes with this concealer because it picks up plenty of product at one go and saves time on application. The concealer I have is in the shade 305 Ivory, and yes, it is too light for my skin tone. It was my mistake buying these products online based on the colors that I saw through my phone screen, so I highly recommend that you physically test foundations and concealers to determine the right shade for you before buying them for the first time. I'm now using a damp beauty blender to spread the concealer out and blend any harsh edges. This concealer is water-based, so it blends easily when you use a damp beauty blender. This is the finish I got after blending out the concealer, and I think it looks decent. The Fresh Wear foundation that I have here is also in the shade Ivory. I like to give it a good shake before dispensing the product because I've noticed that sometimes liquid foundations separate. I find this foundation to be incredibly runny. L'Oreal claims that this foundation is a medium to full buildable coverage foundation, but for me, I would place this foundation as a light to medium coverage foundation at most because there are many foundations out there that give far better coverage. I'm not a big fan of how this foundation sits on my skin. It took me a very long time to come up with a review for this foundation and concealer because I've been trying so many different combinations of skincare products to prep my skin, but till today, I just can't get these products to work for me. I find the foundation just doesn't go on as smoothly as I had hoped when I purchased it. I find that it has a very weird texture as I apply it on my skin, and it starts to look powdery or cakey on its own after some time, even when I use hydrating skincare products to prep my skin and skip the setting powder. I'll be showing you a close-up under natural lighting later on, so you can see what I'm talking about. As this foundation is way too light for my skin tone, I'll be using some darker concealer to contour and reduce the color contrast between my face and neck. This concealer is from a different brand, but as mentioned earlier, L'Oreal currently only has 4 shades of concealer available in Malaysia, and they are all pretty light colors. For the Fresh Wear foundation, it's currently only available in 10 shades, and they all seem to only cater for lighter skin shades as well. I put some of the Ivory concealer on my chin here because the Fresh Wear foundation doesn't adhere well to my chin for some reason and doesn't properly cover my acne scars. Even when I layer the foundation, it just doesn't look good on my T-zone. I'm also adding more of L'Oreal's Ivory concealer here to soften out my contouring and also provide better coverage to my blemishes. When it comes to contouring, I always strive to achieve a soft blend because that's the current makeup style that I like. This is how the makeup currently looks up close. I'm now going to go in with the Makeup Forever Ultra HD Setting Powder in the color 2.0 Vanilla for half my face to show you all the difference that setting powder makes to this foundation and concealer for someone with oily combination skin. I'm just using a fluffy powder brush here to lightly dust my face with setting powder. I might make a separate video about this setting powder in due time, but for this video, I'm just going to focus on the 2 L'Oreal products. This product is a mattifying setting powder, so you'll notice that half of my face now looks matte, whereas the other half has a fresh look to it. Now I'll be using the Matte and Poreless Setting Spray from Maybelline on my entire face as the last step. I'll put the link in the description box below if you would like to hear what I think about this setting spray. This is how the makeup looks under natural lighting once the setting spray has dried. As mentioned earlier, this foundation doesn't adhere well to my T-zone, and you can see the unevenness in texture that I mentioned earlier. Also, although I put a layer of foundation followed by concealer, it is obvious that my blemishes are still not fully covered. There is some coverage, but just not the coverage that I had hoped for. I also find that this foundation always settles into my fine lines and emphasizes my skin texture. So if you've bought this foundation in the wrong shade or the foundation doesn't perfectly match your skin tone like what I have here, you might also get this result. Currently, I'm only using these products for live streaming from home because my webcam doesn't pick up as much detail. I definitely wouldn't wear these products to a professional photo shoot or even to hang out with my friends because they just don't look good on me right from the start. This is how it looks about 8 hours later, just staying indoors. My face is looking pretty shiny already because I have oily combination skin. The foundation on the side of my forehead that doesn't have any setting powder is already failing the smudge test, whereas the side that has setting powder is more resistant towards smudging and transfer. You can see that on my chin, the foundation and concealer have already worn off. As someone with oily combination skin, I wouldn't trust this foundation for sun protection even though it comes with SPF. Away from my T-zone, the makeup is staying on better, even on the side that doesn't have any setting powder on. So if you have normal to dry skin, you might have better luck with this foundation. If you found my review helpful, please drop this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more beauty content. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again in my next video.